Howdy everyone, this is Mopbot, this is the Diamond Society, and welcome back to episode number 11. A little bit of change going on around here, two fairly major things actually. Now, first one is hopefully somewhat apparent, and if you've been around here, seen a lot of my videos, you probably noticed that one actually really quick. And that's that we're using a little bit different of a texture pack. And I think it's really cool. I am now using a 64-bit texture pack, and let's actually do this. Here we go, and we'll go ahead and check out this. There we go, so Faithful 64X. It's a pretty popular texture pack. I'll try to remember to leave a link to that down in the description. And anyway, I think this looks really good. I really do like the 64-bit textures, or 64 pixel textures. I guess I don't really know how you want to call it. But yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. The carpets there look a little bit odd to me, and the wood color is just a little bit tinted. But other than that, overall, I think it does look really good. And so yeah, it's also got some 3D textures in it. I can't think of anything around here actually that has a 3D texture though. It's not entirely complete, not everything's done yet, but quite a lot of it does. We've also got a friend. That's not actually part of the other change. The other big change is this right here. We got a big hole now, so we've had a little bit of while between the last episode. And actually the last episode was the dragon fight, which I wasn't even scheduled to be a part of. I just kind of logged on and everyone was there, so I went ahead and joined them for that. But anyway, in the last episode, then we had just on the front of this, and then I went and go ahead. Oh, gee. Speaking words, no. No. So, words. Anyway, between episodes, went ahead and dug this all out, and I did that because I didn't want to spend a lot of time in between recordings doing that, because I knew it would take a while. And yeah, it did take a while. It took, I don't even know, it took quite a few hours to do all this. It is pretty big, and then I went ahead and redid the ground. Not quite sure why, really. I think just to make it look a little bit nicer upon first presentation, because the floor is going to be changing, hopefully in this episode, otherwise in next, and that guy is going to be up there forever. He's holding an item. He's got a helmet on, so he's not going to burn. And he's just, yeah, he's not in a position to die. He's not going to trace me down and die either, so I guess he's going to be up there for a little while. But anyway, overall, I think this place is going to start to turn out really cool. I've got a few plans for what we want to do in there. Well, I do just want to mention really quick that one of the reasons why it's been so long in between this video and the last one, and there was also a shaders tour, by the way, and that's also part of why, or part of what I'm about to explain. So if I go ahead and hit F3, got a little bit of new computer specs. I don't know how close people have paid attention before, but you can see now the CPU is different. You've got an 8-threaded Intel Core i7-4790K, and that's running at a 4 GHz clock speed, which is a big step up from my Core 2 Duo, which was an old business processor that I was just using because I hadn't had the money to buy a new computer, but we're here now with modern CPU, which is really good. And then also my display is a GTX 750 Ti, and that's the FTW version. That's got 2 GB of, what do you want to call it, of the VRAM. And then we're also running Minecraft with 8 GB now of just regular RAM for the computer. So lot smoother gameplay. Definitely can do some higher res stuff now. Possibly thinking about doing 60 FPS videos, but not entirely sure. This video is going to be in 30 FPS while I kind of figure out which I like. I personally prefer watching videos in 30 FPS. Although, yeah, I don't know. I might do 60 FPS. So anyway, yeah, using the 64 wide textures now, of course, because got the graphics power for it. Was also using shaders in that last video because, again, graphics power. So this pack is very similar to the last one with the things I've changed. Lapis block and the rows were actually already, so you can see it's still the rows. So these I didn't actually have to change. I don't think I changed. No, because this was a fresh download of this pack. So yeah, these are completely defaulted textures back to when they were good, and then sugarcane I still changed, and that's actually why I've got that layout underneath it, because that's got the file that I have to change the sugarcane texture back to the old coloring. And look at that water, it's just so beautiful. But yeah, so anyway, enough about that. We've actually got plans for this episode besides just discussing what I have. If you'd like to know more, go ahead and ask me down below and I'll go ahead and reply to you. But anyway, what we want to do with this giant room now is not going to be just storage, although a large portion of it is going to be. We're also going to hopefully have a giant epic entrance from the nether portal, which is going to be up on the top of the mountain back there, that we're also going to have to reshape over the sides when we're done here. And then we're also going to have some villager trading in here, and we're also going to have some item transport. So whenever we get items from like way out there at the iron farm, which so there it is. There you can see it right there. Those can be carted all the way back through the mountain and they'll end up down there. So I think that'll be pretty cool, and it also looks like it's just about to rain. Oh, is that lightning? Okay, we're going to sit in here because it's a little bit brighter in here. But yeah, those will all come in here and we'll be able to unload them and stuff, so that'll be kind of like a little train station, little subway, automatic unloading thing. Underneath, we'll probably have like a main path that goes over it or something, but we'll make it look cool, whatever it is. Have the big entrance in the back, villager breeding on one side, probably that side actually, because we've got the villager breeder out there, so then we'll have all these guys carted over, and we'll have the holding cells along this side. That'll just probably be the easiest, so I don't have to like go around the back or anything. Which means that on this side is going to be storage, and we'll probably go up probably 4 chests, and then all the way over. So that'll be pretty cool. It's probably, I think, 40 blocks back, something like that. So that'll be 40 different items we can store. Then we could probably do a second layer, one below it, and we could even do another layer above it if we do like a little walking path. So we could have a lot of storage, and it's really easily expandable too, because we've got this whole wall here, got plenty of room to go up, got plenty of room to go down, and of course we can do another rooms below it. So that'll be really cool if we ever run out of storage, but I really don't think we do. I also want to know what you guys think. Should I leave these pixels in the middle of the glass like that? Because I'm kind of thinking I want to get rid of them. When you step back like this, it just looks a little odd. It gets really noisy until you get to right about here, and then it disappears. So, not really sure. But anyway, minor detail. I've got a lot of work to do. I really do. Not going to be getting any of the villagers in probably in this episode, or the giant epic entrance, or even any of the items coming in from the back. But today I want to focus mostly on the items, and at least setting up the automatic sorter. Probably having a place to go in somewhere right around there. But it's going to be a lot of work. And yeah, I guess I've got to just kind of get this out. Not entirely sure what I want to do for the walls yet, but it's going to have to be something that goes up about that high. I can't go too far back either because we do still have to shape the mountain over this, which means that we're kind of limited in space there. Because obviously we don't want to shape the mountain like over the front and have it this very oddly shaped mountain. Hello, creeper. What you doing? You're jumping? Are you going to explode? No. Away with you. And, okay. Alright, I've got some work to do now. Okay, gonna try not to spoil anything here because I'm actually standing, well, in the middle of a project that has not been released at the time I'm recording this. But yeah, you can see some 3D rails. Let's step back just a little bit. Oh, don't spoil anything. Yeah, that lifts up the ground. Lifts off the ground a little bit right there. Looks pretty cool, but anyway, let's go down here because this is a project that was recently finished, and I haven't really gotten a chance to actually show this. At the end of the dragon fight, I came over here, although I think I cut the video off right before I got here, and yeah, look at what that is. Besides odd because I don't have my settings quite right for when I'm looking at builds quite a bit away and it gets really noisy, and that's all my fault. But anyway, we have a Titan. That's really awesome. Compliments of Lurgan. I eat first and then say thanks, buddy, because iron for days. Now it looks like these are all full except for some reason maybe that one, unless there's something missing. Although there's quite a bit of iron in here. Obviously, we're going to need quite a bit of it for that drop. No, don't go back there. Okay, we're gonna I broke it. Stop. No. Okay, we're good. So anyway, we're going to need quite a bit because we're going to be using lots of hoppers. We're going to be using lots of chests, too. So hopefully I can find some wood, but that's Raven's base right there. So that's about where this is on the map. Really close to Ravens. This is at the world spawn, of course. And then we've also got an ice spikes biome over there. I don't have a silk touch pick, otherwise it would be really nice to go grab some of those. But anyway, iron, and it's great, and now we can do our storage project. Although I should probably find a tree farm that's a little bit more efficient than mine. Alright, so I just kind of went ahead and did the whole thing, and I almost just hit end recording. Nope, almost, there we go. Yeah, I just kind of did the whole thing here. Not entirely finished, I guess, but really close, and I did the whole design of the wall. Not entirely sure what I think about it, honestly. Feels kind of industrial to me, which I kind of really want to avoid. You know, you look out here and it's all natural and stuff, and it just seems kind of bulky. I added a lot of leaves and a lot of pumpkins to try to bring back, I guess, kind of the natural feel to it, which I think helped a bit. But yeah, I don't really know. There's not a whole lot of wood in here, I think, which is probably throwing me off because wood is good, but in this there's not a whole lot of wood there. So anyway, went ahead and kind of decided how the sorting is gonna all go. There is a loud portal up there. Let's actually just turn that off now. Okay, so anyway, I just went with some basic blocks that you get a lot of here. So like the cobblestone, the dirt and stuff. And then you got like minerals here. Keep going, keep going, keep going more. Got woods. And then mob drops. And at the end, just some farms that I plan on having like pumpkin, melon, cactus, sugarcane. The standard that will probably have very, very large bulk of in items. And haven't actually gone all the way through yet because I'm not sure exactly yet what I want to do. And then also, if you look really closely, you can see even more pumpkins back there, but the hoppers are behind just the top 3 chests. And just the top 3 chests are going to be automatic sorting, and then this bottom row is all going to be manual sorting for just random items that I have lots of. And it looks like it's raining again. It really has been doing that a lot recently. Oh, more lightning. But yeah, anyway, none of these chests down here are going to be automatic sorting, so random items like glass or clay, or just items that I'm not going to have a whole lot of that I can just toss into a chest, are all going to go down there. So then if we go ahead to the back, you can see how I've done this. So very standard item sorting, nothing horribly special here. Very, very just like basic, I guess you could say. And then yeah, so comparator on top of this block, and then redstone dust down those two and to there. And we got repeaters running down there into the torch there, so it'll invert it there. So I haven't done any of the sorting yet to actually set it up. These were just kind of planning, so I haven't done, like I said, that down here yet. So when I start to fill up this, I think I'll start to actually put in the items. That'll probably be between episodes because it's not horribly major, and it is going to take me quite a while because it's going to be just fairly tedious to do and trying to rename all the items so that nothing stacks and stuff. But yeah, so anyway, after doing that on that side, we're looking at this side now for villagers, and this isn't going to be this episode, although it is going to end up being, I think, the same design as this, and where the chests are is just going to be replaced with villager holding cells. So that'll be pretty cool to just have the same thing on both, and then we'll do something grand on the back. And actually, one idea that I had, and this was probably the best idea, is to, instead of doing the portal, like right here, and then doing, like, what do you want to call it, like a train station almost, down there for receiving items, down on the ground. I think I'm going to flip the order of the two and have the train station up here, and that way all the items can flow down into the item sorter going downward, and I don't have to worry about an item elevator or anything, and I worry about that breaking in 1.9 or anything like that. And the droppers, you know, because those could like unload and then just completely freeze and items will get stuck, and it's just going to be a whole lot easier if I do it the way I just described with having the stuff up here and then having the portal, or maybe even just a tunnel up to the top and having the portal up still where it is. That'll still be coming though, because that, like I said, I'm not entirely sure. So that's pretty much all for around the base right now. I think it's looking pretty cool. Eventually we'll also get some lights hanging from the ceiling to get rid of this glitch, because that is really, really ugly. So let's look at this from the outside quick before we go ahead off. And what are you gonna do? I actually just had a creeper blow up out here, so it's probably just a tad ugly on the side. Oh, we're also missing some crops there, and I think we're missing one over here. Yeah, we are. I need to find some way to protect those if there is a way. So anyway, let's go ahead and look over here now, because I did terraform up just a little bit, and this is a very, very bad view. Let's get probably on top of that tree. Oh, let's get up here. Okay. And just step back just a little bit. So yeah, it kind of looks natural. It almost kind of doesn't though, because if you go ahead and scroll in here, you can see how the dirt just lines up completely flush with the wood, which I don't really like. And I tried to mask a lot of it, a lot of that flatness right there with the water coming down, and it helps, but I don't know if it does enough. You know, it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't do a whole lot for it, but it has to be that way if I want to hide what's behind it, and of course I do want to hide what's behind it. So yeah, just kind of adding to the natural feel. Eventually I'll decorate the side of the mountain too. That'll probably be between episodes, but it'll just carry the same thing, adding the wheat, pumpkins, melons, and then bone mealing it up and getting some flowers in there too. So yeah, that'll all be pretty cool. And of course we got to do the same on the other side like I mentioned earlier. So now, hello. I don't know when you just randomly appeared. But anyway, there's something I want to do at spawn. And it's been awaited, and it's been waiting because of something that needed to happen that has now happened. So I guess you'll see when I actually get over there. So anyway, go ahead and I'll be right back. But first, I should probably mention that these hoppers, well, they weren't facing the right direction. So I done goofed. These go into the comparators, or at least in some other direction than how they were before. And these are the ones that go off in that direction, off over towards that wall. Well, I wanted to show you this last bit in shaders, but I'm having this really weird bug right now with my graphics card, and whenever Windows loads on startup, my monitor shuts off, which is really, really strange. But I took out my graphics card, and now I'm just using onboard graphics, and it works just fine. Although, yeah, shaders does not work well with this, but this place would look really cool with shaders. I did get on, it just was not an acceptable FPS at all. It was like 15, 16, 17 around there, and it was just really, really bad. So anyway, went ahead and decorated around my building finally. I was waiting for Corp to get his building up so I could kind of blend the two in, and we kind of did a little bit back there. Not so much actually. Not as much as I thought we would, but at least not yet. Not done over here. And it kind of matches over here, although this is in a little bit different of a style. If you look over here, he's got a lot of big trees and it's just spaced out a lot more. And then there's a lot more gray. And I mean, his is just a lot cleaner than mine, really. But I don't know, how often do I actually do natural stuff that is pretty clean? So anyway, let's go ahead and take a quick walk through there. We've got the dirt path that leads right up to the door. And it's just kind of random with some coarse dirt. And then I've just really spammed everything around here. We got potatoes, carrots, different types of leaves, pumpkins and melons, because of course this is the pumpkin and melon tower. The birch trees, we got leaves in the ground with jack-o'-lanterns below them. There's some wheat. The rose bushes I think add a lot. Really do like the red. I mean, there's cactus, flowers, and of course there's all the grass around here too, which I think just makes it look so, so cool. Let's go ahead back here and see what we did over here. Just took some oak wood and just kind of blended the land together. So instead of just kind of leaving like a one block difference, we just put the oak wood there, and I think it blends in pretty well. Corp actually started doing that, and then I continue doing that around here, and I think it just really does fit. So pretty awesome. He also did this retaining wall back here, which is, I'm not sure who designed it. I want to say either Coop or OG, probably Coop. But yeah, that was just kind of started down there, and he carried it all the way down there, all the way up to my house. So it looks pretty good. There's also a lot of sugarcane in here, and the water was kind of hard to hide. Obviously, I couldn't have like sugarcane in the middle, which would have been cool, but I had to hide it behind something. So for instance, it's underneath this melon here, or there's some under the trees, or I think there's some under the pumpkins. There probably is. But yeah, it's just some ways of hiding it. And I think it looks pretty cool. And then we've also got this broken up cobblestone wall that goes around here. And overall, I think it just does look really quite nice. Then we got the bridge right next to it, and of course the retaining wall continues on the other side. And then one last thing that I did around spawn, and gosh, this place does look amazing. If you haven't seen my video that displays the town, I can't think of words, with the shaders mod, I'll leave a link to that down in the description. Go ahead and check that out. That also covers my base, and I think it does look pretty cool. But anyway, back here, most of this was actually mountain before, or at least hill. You can see I started to pull the road over, and I think right about here, probably like right about there, I think was still hill. And then I started cutting all this back, and then terraforming the land a little bit, trying to get it to match up pretty nicely. Obviously, we didn't want to cut off Lurgan's community mine here. So what I did instead was just put some andesite around the dirt. That brings it right up to there, and then just continues right the way up here. And this is about as far as we can go, unless we run into that, which we really don't want to do. But then that goes right up to the mountain, and then it's going to end up curving back. That's where I left off, shaving that back, but I think the road's probably going to turn off that way. I think that's really the only way it can go, because there's not really much straight unless we want to take down this big old mountain here and then keep going past there. But obviously we have plenty of room to work with, so I don't know if that's necessarily the biggest deal right now. But anyway, I think the spawn's starting to look really, really cool now that we got a little bit more nature going on in here. Probably get some in Corpse Tower between this episode and the next, or maybe sometime shortly thereafter. Hopefully something over here as well. I think it could blend really well with the Coop's Tower right next to it. And that... Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Okay, well, that I think we just need to sign out on that. Oh, you stopped. You stopped. No. Okay, well, anyway. This has been MopBot. Hope you enjoyed. Go ahead and subscribe for more. And I'm out.